as you can see.
Wilderness ahead.
like my jacket.
As you can see.
An amazing reef.
Yeah. And canyoning.
You see your names? Yeah, let's go. Touch, yep, touch. Put your hand. Put your hand. Say, watch.
Feels good.
I'll do it there. 1, 2, 3.
And then they appear to be varying shades of darker light, silicon rocky and color to the shallow behind areas. Astronomical adaptations provide their first root is that coloration doesn't blend in with the rocky roots. And these are
That's where we go.
Oh my gosh, it's sliding. Oh my god. 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 Oh
guidelines. By doing so, you help ensure our safety, everyone's safety, and allow us to continue sharing these incredible animals with all of you. Now please enjoy Orca Encounter.
Welcome to Seaworld's Orca Encounter. My name is Casey, and I'm honored to introduce you to these intriguing and majestic animals.
As you can see, the differences are subtle, but noticeable when compared side by side. Orcas are adapted perfectly to their environments. And even the whale's black and white coloration has a purpose. It camouflages the outline of their bodies in the water, making it easier for them to surprise and catch their prey.
know what that means? You ain't getting wet.
And that also means we don't smell like fish.
Most importantly, though, would we look good in a wetsuit? You don't have to answer that. My name's David, this is Gabe, and usually we're behind the scenes. They usually don't even let us out on stage. But we normally do about 300 school programs a year, but not this year. So what we're doing instead is we're bringing you guys some animals that you don't normally get to see here. You see, Gabe and I, what we do is we do programs with our rescue animals, but they're the rescue animals that can't be put back in the wild. Something happens to them to where they can no longer take care of themselves in the wild. A couple reasons why we end up with these animals. One of them is because they get hurt real bad to the point where we can't totally fix them. I mean, imagine an owl flying across the road in the middle of the night, gets hit by a car, breaks its wing, somebody finds it, they bring it here, our veterinarians try to fix it, but they can't. And they can't, that owl can't fly anymore. It doesn't mean it needs to die, it just means somebody needs to take care of it, so that's what we do. But the really cool thing is, it gets a second chance at life being an ambassador. So we get all kinds of animals that we can't return to the wild, but we take around to the school so kids can make a connection, so they can learn about conservation. And we do that every single day, Monday through Friday. But like I said, not this year. Now, most of the time, we get these animals that we rescue and we get them back out in the wild. Sometimes even immediately, like sometimes we have to take animals in, and like thousands and thousands of sea lions in the last couple of years we've had to bring in and feed up. They're so emaciated from the fisheries going down, and we get them back out there. But sometimes we can rescue them immediately. Like all this stuff over here, these lobster traps and ropes and everything, these were all wrapped around a big tangled spaghetti mess around a whale that our team got out there and got it all untangled and released it immediately. Sometimes we have to bring the animals in. Some of you may be old enough to remember JJ the whale. We brought JJ in, a gray whale, and we had to fix him up for about a year. We had him so that we could get him all back into health and get him back out there. You know, that was 20 years ago? That's crazy. And then just like 3 weeks ago, we pulled all this mess, these ropes and these buckets full of concrete and anchor and everything off of a green sea turtle. So we do this kind of thing all the time. But we also get animals for another reason. Sometimes people get silly ideas in their head. They're going to make a wild animal into a house pet. It never works, but they try it, and sometimes they get caught, the animal gets taken away, brought to us, or they call us up, and they're like, hey, we tried to make a monkey into a pet, and it didn't work, and we say, duh. She's been with us ever since, and one of the greatest animals I get to take around to the schools. Now, the other thing people find out after they get bit and gotta go to the hospital and the house is destroyed, they find out that monkeys, they're seed dispersers. They poop every 15 minutes. Yeah, so they find out real quick this is a bad idea, and then they find out the darn things live 40 or 50 years. Matter of fact, Maya is almost 40. She's 38 years old.
And get this, Hobo is 52 years old. You know, she is so old, she was rooting for Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. This girl here, she's called a capuchin monkey. Her species comes from the country of Costa Rica, and she's a lot like us. She has hands just like we do.
We're in North America, but kangaroos, koalas, wombats, all those other marsupials, that's where Australia is famous. That's what Australia is famous for, but I think it should be famous for this guy right here. Now, he's not a kangaroo, he's not a koala, he's not cute like that. He's kind of a plain-looking little brown bird. Does anybody know what he is? Kookaburra, exactly. You know his name is an onomatopoeia. You remember that from grade school? The sound that is the word. So his name, Kookaburra, is the sound that he makes, and it's the most famous sound of any bird in the world. He says, coo, 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 coo. Good boy, Wiggly. You have heard that sound in every single jungle movie you've ever watched. They always play it in the background because it sounds so tropical. You know he's not from the jungle. He's not from any jungle. He's from the arid outback.
Caribou, everybody say caribou. Caribou. You want to get up there, buddy? Show off a little bit. This is the caribou. This is the Arctic deer. This is, there you go. Wow. This is the Arctic deer. He lives up in the Arctic Circle. He's adapted to cold climate. This beautiful fur, it's almost like the fur on a polar bear. It's hollow core so that he can stay warm. And then, oh, he pooped. You know what that is? That's chocolate mousse. This guy here, he has that fur that keeps him nice and warm. He has big, wide hooves, like snowshoes for walking on the snow and the ice. He has super wide lips, and that makes him an exceptionally good kisser. No, that's for grabbing to get to lichen and moss and mushrooms. Now the caribou, they live in some of the biggest herds on the planet. Up to 500,000 caribou are in this one herd called the Porcupine River herd.